Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are at our next episode of Let's Talk FGC. I've had a week break and it is really good to be back. I've been having an awesome chat with my guest already and I just can't wait to get into it. So as you know, this is Let's Talk FGC. You know the drill. This is a first to 10 Q&A between MarkTheShark, a somewhat deep dive into what the FGC might not know about them, their views, and some interesting topics along the way. If you'd like to follow me and find out more about FGC Africa and Sheldzable, please hit !socials in the chat and you can get everything you need from there. Like, subscribe, follow on Twitch, subscribe on Tube, hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. This is a weekly thing. And yeah, that's basically the plugs. Guys, today's guest is South Africa's fresh land shark, the Khan of Africa, holding the belt as we speak. Essentially, one of South Africa's best when it comes to Mortal Kombat. The man has won the online FGC Africa, Khan of Africa tournaments, top 3 placements in Defenders of the Realms, top 4 placements in CGL's Console Combat Online, and from what I've been chatting with him, also ACGL's first season top 3 placement. The things continue. He's been on the competitive scene for some time now, and we are finally getting to know him on a personal level. MarkTheShark, aka X-Ray 92. How are you doing, my dude?
Hey, Sheldzable. Good, thanks, my man. How are you doing?
Yeah, I am all good. It has been a busy week, but I'm really happy to be finally sitting down with you. We spoke, I think, last season, which is almost a year ago, when I said, come, let's get you on, let's get chatting. Here we are.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time. I think we were meant to chat like almost half a year, maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
And we're finally getting on here.
Finally. Guys, I know you guys are all in chat there. If you guys just let us know if the levels sound good. If you can hear Mark well, if you can hear me well, just let us know in the chat there, just so I know that everything sounds good. And we're going to get right into this. Before we get into question number 1, I'm going to give you guys a little brief history of how I know Mark the Shark. We go back about 6 years, I believe, at least. Could be a little bit longer. But when I first joined the Steam community, I started building up a player base. I'll never forget you for this, because you had the most irritating 50-50 mix-up Hellfire Scorpion. That might not be the right variation. That once you had me in that vortex, that's it. I was done for. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly the one. It was the one with the grab with those minions. Those
little
demons.
minions, yeah, on the floor. Oh,
yeah.
Dude, overhead minion, dude. I just, to this day, I still have little nightmares.
There's a lot of people that know me for that. It was pretty cool. Like I remember you just mentioned, but you were one of the first people that I met in the FGC scene. Back then, I didn't even know there was an FGC scene. Like I just used to hop online and just play. So from there, I think the community has grown like super big. But I know you yourself, Para, Tinashe, you're one of the first few guys that I met in the scene.
Yeah, that would ultimately be the same for me, because I just jumped online. I was like, man, I'm just searching for games, and obviously as soon as you saw someone below 50 ms ping, you're like, they're from my country.
Yeah, back then it's whoever you can get you play.
Add as friend, and we play as many games as we can. And on Steam there wasn't many people online at the time, so it was just we played up and leveled up together. It was a really awesome time.
Yeah, I agree. It was like super cool back then. Even now.
Oh, 100%. So you know the drill. We're gonna go into our first to 5. It's a couple questions before we go into our little mid-section. For those who are familiar with the episodes, you'll know what's cooking. But I'm going to go straight into question number 1, and that's, let's hear about your intro into the FGC. I know we've done a little bit of little chat there, but I want to know, intro into competitive fighting games, into fighting games from when you were a kid until now.
Cool. So I'll give you the long version of this. So I started playing fighting games unknowingly when I was a kid. I never really knew much about it. I just knew just go and press buttons. I learned a few combos. I started off in the game shops back then. We used to play King of Fighters 97, 96, 98. Eventually into Tekken Tag, Tekken 3. and MK1 and 2. Eventually MK Trilogy as well. But back then, like I used to play for the fun of it. I used to go into the game shop, a few of my mates used to put like 50 cents back then, play a couple of games.
Yeah.
But I never really knew much about the games itself, like the mechanics. I just knew press buttons, do a few combos. That was it. So it started off back then, but I didn't really know much. I suppose it came down to MKX. So with MKX, really, like I met you guys, yourself, Parasurama, Tanashi, and you guys just jam online. But even then, I never really knew much about the game mechanics.
Okay.
It was just combos. So I learned a few combos. And one of the main reasons I remember I learned that is because we were having an offline tournament in Durban. I think it was hosted by Telkom. Telkom held that MKX tournament, and I learned literally one combo and I went to that tournament.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just take my shot. And I went into that tournament. I was close to placing top 3. They did a round robin style, so you play everyone. And from there, I think is where everything kicked off. Getting that feel of a tournament, getting the feel for how the game actually is played, getting a feel for the other competitors around. When I got back, I met a friend of mine. His name's Dreadnought. He's probably in chat. He is the one that actually introduced me to the game mechanics in more detail because he used to play Street Fighter 4. So he actually taught me around, frame data, certain websites about combos, the tournaments that are happening. And from there, really, I started playing more in depth in the game with you guys, with Para, and I started learning more about the game.
Mm-hmm.
And really from there is where I started taking it a bit more competitively. So towards the end, or middle to end of MKX is where I actually started getting quite decent at the games.
Yeah.
Understanding how everything works. I didn't really know frame data that much by then. I knew a little bit of it, but not really fully. And then I took a break for a while. I didn't really play Injustice or any of the other games because I never really knew the FGC guys other than you guys on Steam.
Yeah.
And then MK11 came around, and the moment that released, I was like, okay, now's my chance, now's my shot. Let me put the time into the game and
let's get
learn everything. Yeah. So MK11 came out. I put I don't know how many hours into that game, but I put a lot of hours in at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ACGL Season 1 started. I entered, we placed on the online qualifiers within the top 4, and I qualified to go to the finals, which was in Joburg.
Okay.
And really there is where I met everybody from the FGC scene. The guys added me to the WhatsApp groups. Para was the guy who actually added me to some of the WhatsApp groups.
Yeah, Para
and
does
from there
that.
I got to know everyone in the community. Yeah.
Yeah.
And really then that's where everything started taking off. Once you're in the community, you get help from the guys. They teach you things that's where I basically learned everything. So it's from the guys in the community.
That's awesome. That's like, I was almost identical in terms of I learned MKX. I mean, I've been playing MK9, competitively with my cousins. I would say it was kind of just decided, that was the game that would decided everything. But yeah, MKX, they had the MKX Cup. I went there, got absolutely washed. Because I was coming from MK9, just didn't really know what I was doing much on MKX. It was obviously a major difference, just like MKX is to MK11. But it's cool to see that a lot of our community growth has all happened simultaneously. A lot of the stories from the people that started on Steam kind of have a similar upbringing where they met up with the players at a certain area, and you guys eventually got added to the WhatsApp group, and it's just this continuous growth altogether, and it's just really awesome to hear that exact same thing. You want to say something there, buddy?
No, but I was just gonna say, the community helps massively in terms of your growth. What you can do, what you learn. Because you don't know what you don't know, and until someone actually shows you that tech, you don't really know it.
Yeah.
So it's a massive help when you have people around that's willing to actually help you grow.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why it's called the fighting game community, and that's why we've been getting it leveled up every step of the way with everyone joining. I'm sure many players, I see 5,000 in the chat saying that he's sliding into Mark's DMs asking for games to learn that tech. You know how it is.
That man showed me most of my tech, which is just mashing.
Straight up mash. So I think that's actually a great segue into the second question. You know, as someone who, 5,000, who had Killjoy, these people that are parts of, teams and sponsors, as someone who's recently joined an esports team named Illusions, for everyone who doesn't know yet, you have a training partner with Killjoy now. And what advice would you give to those looking to level up, other than, join a team with high-end players?
And so, I mean, if the guys are already watching on here, it's, getting in contact with the FGC guys, getting in contact with the people that in the fighting game community. So for me, it's always you find the good players and you get washed by them until you get good. So for me, from ACGL season 1, I think when we had the first qualifiers for the round 1, I met Mr. 5000 in those qualifiers, and I actually took him out in that qualifiers. He's probably still salty about it. but at that qualifiers where I actually saw his skill, and I knew he was going to win that entire tournament. Like, I called it from the start. But ever since that tournament, I've played countless games against him, and I got washed countless times until I actually got to that level where I can actually compete against them. So for me, it's just, losing is part of the process. You got to lose to get better. And you find the guys who are good at the game, and you learn from them.
I always...
you put in the time and you grind. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it is something that I think a lot of people that join, I think I saw on Twitter, people were talking about going 0-2, going 0-2. I've gone 0-2 in almost everything I've played. Okay, not everything, but I've gone 0-2 a lot of times where I've just gotten washed, just get eaten by people. And a lot of people for fighting games, I feel like that can just deter them completely. They're like, okay, cool, I want to be a part of this, but I can't get past that gap where you got to challenge yourself. And a lot of people just simply enjoy the community. Both of those sides I find completely fine. But a lot of people, it's like yourself, you guys are taking it to the next level. And I think that that's the perfect bit of advice for them is, if you want to get better, you got to play the better people.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And I suppose it depends on what you want out of the game. A lot of people play the game to have fun, like you said, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want to get better at the game and you want to put in the time and the effort into it, then you got to just grind.
100%. Talking about grinding and FGC as a whole, the FGC is a good... I think it's pretty good in Africa at the moment, but people have got their views, and I like to always... this question is kind of a staple on the show every time, it comes around. Oh no, we've lost the man. Let me call him back. You're back.
Yeah, I got disconnected there, buddy.
Just share your video there.
Will do. All good.
Perfect. Sorry, guys. All back. So the question number 3, is how do you feel about FGC in Africa and its current state? So, as we are slowly evolving and slowly getting bigger and better, what do you think we need as, just as a community? Is it something more local tournaments? Is it, what is it that you're looking for?
We saw one of it right there. You need better internet connection.
Better internet connection.
I mean, internet connection's been a really bad problem, I think, throughout the whole African scene. Some of us do have good internet, some of us have bad internet, but I think we need local servers. We don't get that. I think we don't get the love we need from the people creating the games. Usually they ignore Africa altogether. I think we need that infrastructure in place. But apart from that, I mean, we've shown ourselves time and time again in tournaments, competing. We've put ourselves out there. So we do need a bit more tournaments and big players to come in now. And I think we are getting there. Guys have been putting themselves out there. We have been creating that content. We have been showcasing our skills. And I think people are starting to take notice.
For sure. As someone who's obviously, there was kind of a two-parter question in this one was, as someone who's recently joined a team, are you like looking now for any availability to compete?
Oh, 100%. I'm always keen to compete in tournaments. But for me, joining the team, illusions aren't too. I say they don't really push me to play tournaments. It's more to push content. So as long as I'm pushing content, getting my name out there, I think that's the focus. But I like competing, so I still go ahead.
Fantastic. Awesome. Now I've seen yourself. This is talking about bettering yourself and playing in everything that you can. I've seen you better yourself. Oh no! Now, sorry, you guys are gonna hear some feedback there. My live loop came back in. I've seen you better yourself time and time again in tournaments. So, what is your goal? What is it that what is your FGC goal? What is it that you're chasing?
So I'm not really chasing much, to be honest. For me, it's just I like to play. I like to see where my skill levels are. I like to. I think I just like to compete. There's no real goal for me. It's just I'd like to just get my name out there, push out content, eventually start live streaming. So for me, it's just pushing content.
100%. Well, that's sometimes it's just as simple as that. Better yourself. I want to play. I want to compete. I want to be a part. I mean, that's really all you need. Now, this is my favorite question of the whole. Well, I've got several favorites, but this is my favorite one This is my favorite question for the fans. To find out about their favorite players is, where does the gamer tag Mark the Megalodon, Mark the Shark come from, and X-Ray 92, because there's obviously two.
So X-Ray 92, that one's a bit weird. So I mentioned we had that offline MKX tournament here when it first came out, hosted by Telkom.
Yeah.
And I had no name back then. I just literally bought the game.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a name, and I was like, well, this game has X-rays, so you know what, let's just go with it.
Bam.
And I needed a name to sign up for the tournament. So that was where X-Ray 92 came from. I took 92 because Team X-Ray 90, the word X-Ray was already taken. So,
okay.
So I just added 92 onto it. Funnily enough, I tried taking X-Ray 92 on console, and that couldn't happen. So I had to put double underscores in there.
Yes,
the
I've
first
seen
one was
that.
already taken as well. So I had to put SJ double underscore 92. And it just kind of stuck from there. I was like, okay, well, every other platform I've created an account on, I was just like, okay, well, X-Ray 92. Everyone just knows me by that name now, so I'm just gonna go with it. Fast forward to MK11, and when I then qualified and actually came top 3 for the ACGL Season 1 tournament, I think guys started in the chat, and I think Parasarama was actually the guy who mentioned it, and he's like, don't sleep on him, he's actually a shark. And, the guys were like, okay, well, Mark the Shark.
Yes.
And the community actually coined the name after that. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just go with it. And then I just kept on going with it. And I decided afterwards, the guys all called me Mark the Shark. So I was like, okay, well, I created a Twitter account, created the name as Mark the Shark, and eventually progressed into calling that as my new name.
Well, you kind of combined the two, because it's Mark the Shark 92 for your Twitter
Correct.
handle.
Yeah, I still needed a number because people took Mark the Shark.
That is my favorite, man. I just absolutely love when the community names their players, and you are clear evidence of that. They were like, oh, watch out, he's a shark, he's going to guess you. And that's exactly what they did, and hence your name. That is just, I love it.
Yeah.
Guys, we've reached the halfway mark of our first 10 today. As you guys know, I'm going into a couple bonus questions, but please, at Sheldzable in the chat for some questions at the end. I will ask anything you want, so don't be shy. Drop your questions in the chat, and we'll hit Mark up at the end. These are the random questions, Mark. Are you ready?
Yep.
Would you rather have unlimited sushi for life or unlimited tacos?
Good sushi.
Sushi
No
it
question.
is. The Shark Man eats himself.
Fitting.
Completely fitting. So the next bonus question is hero or villain for a day?
Hero.
No
I'm all about the good
consequences.
guys. Still hero. All about the good guys.
Part of the good guys. Guys, MarkTheShark's a good shark. Guys, appreciate you all for tuning through. I see everyone in chat here. I see Dreadnought, Mr. Soul, Michael Knight, Brian Look, Cater Reborn, Mr. 5000's in the chat, Charlie Wolf Gaming's come to chill out, Andio Tam, Ingoni, Christian Clay, Mr. Jivs. If I missed you guys, Daedalus. Awesome to see you guys. Thanks for coming to hang out and ask some questions. Really appreciate the support. Guys, if you haven't yet, obviously you can see our handles are below our names. Please like, subscribe, follow the whole toot. And more importantly is you need to go follow MarkTheShark on his Twitter, and his YouTube is MarkTheShark. You cannot get it wrong. Do not follow the other MarkTheShark, because I found another MarkTheShark on YouTube.
There is one more, yeah.
They're everywhere. MarkTheShark. You will find it straight away. I will be linking his channel in the YouTube description at the end of the live stream. We're going straight into the next couple questions, my man, and this was, I think, this is a big one because you hold it now. You are the Khan of Africa. It was a big tournament. It is a big title. We took a whole bunch of Combat Africas. We did multiple tournaments to get a whole bunch of top players. We got a launch chance qualifier, which you played in, and you went all the way. FGC Africa is preparing to put the title on the line in the coming months. What are you doing to defend it?
What I always do, man. We grind. If the guys want the title, they're gonna have to take it away. It's not gonna come easy.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what I like to hear. To hear, man. It's because it's a big title now. It was our main show, and you've held on to it for a little while, but we can't let you. We have to give you the opportunity to defend it. And we've got to do some title ideas. Me and you must chat some more about that, but I know me and the guys are talking. Para's got some great ideas.
I know Killjoy wants his title back because I've taken it off Killjoy. So, we grind. But yeah, I ain't gonna go down without a fight.
100%. I bet you there's gonna be some other players also gunning for you. I know 5000 would like a little taste of that Africa Khan-ness.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, they're both good players, and there's quite a few others actually that are really, really up there for contenders. I think everyone's been leveling up in the FGC right now.
100%. We kind of stagnating a little bit with no more characters or buffs or nerfs or any changes to the kind of core gameplay mechanics, but we are seeing players finding new stuff. I came back after a month and I saw Hamza from Senegal, I think Senegal. I saw his Cabal, and I was like, what is this?
That's crazy good. Yeah.
I was like, this is...
I mean, he's competed with some of the pros, and he's went toe-to-toe with some of the pros from the Middle East as well. Taking wins off them. So, our guys are definitely leveling up.
No, I'm not surprised. I was just so surprised to see something that I hadn't seen before. I mean, living in the UK, I play Combat League as much as I can. And I always see, Scorpions, Sub-Zeros. But I just hadn't seen such a crazy Cabal with that, that air gas in the air and just that kind of tech. So people are finding... Is my audio a little bit soft there? Charlie Wolf, thanks for that, man. I'll turn it up a little bit now. Yeah, people have been finding stuff that I just didn't think was possible without another update at least.
I still think there's like a lot of variations that haven't been touched or tapped on. But yeah, I think the guys just aren't willing to put the time in now to make them work.
Well, I know I speak for a lot of us when we say we'd love a Combat Pack 3, but let's not hold on to any hopes, and let's just hope for another good NRS game. I will be honest though, if it is another Injustice, I'm gonna let it lay. I'll come back when MK comes back, because I gave Injustice 2 a try. It just wasn't for me. But a lot of people do like it and prefer it over the Mortal Kombat games. Talking about players, I know we were busy just talking about that now. People have mentioned you before, so you got to know that this is there is love all round. When I got to ask this question is, who is your favorite African player at the moment? Only one. Who is it? Who's your must watch?
I mean, we already know the answer. It's Mr. 5000. The dude just has. So he's one of the guys that gave me so much games and helped me level up that I can't not put respect on his name. He's such a really good guy, and he's willing to help every single buddy in the FGC. He knows he's really good at the game, but he's also willing to help everybody. And that's one of the good things about him. His streams are actually quite funny. I've joined a few of his streams before. I've been on his stream before as well. And he's just such a good guy to play against. I mean, there's some salt when we play, but also it's just mostly fun. We mostly just mash. And I mean, he's just like a really good guy to play against and watch.
That's awesome. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I've had many a chat with 5000 over the last couple of months, and superb lad, and a great member to have part of our community. Guys, don't be afraid to hit these guys up for games, and they will say to you is we mash 5000. Well, that's awesome, guys. Moving on to question number 8. Now, Mortal Kombat is where you've shown up the most. What are top games that you play and love the most? Doesn't need to be fighting games, but what else is that you're busy playing and being competitive in? What is it that's that you also shown in that we don't know about?
The games that I like to play competitively, or just games that I like?
Well, let's say competitively.
Okay, so I recently started playing Street Fighter 5 again. I picked it up a couple of years ago when it first came out, but there's not much of a community there. There's not a lot of people playing, I should say. So, like in MK, you go hop online, you go into Combat League, you find a lot of players.
Okay.
With Street Fighter locally, at least, there's just not a lot of guys there. You'll search for hours and not find any games. So I dropped it for a while.
Okay.
I've gotten back into it now because I've been added to a group with a few guys on there, and they play quite regularly.
Awesome.
And it is a fun game. Like, I really do enjoy it. So I'm starting to pick that up competitively again. One of the other games I started to get competitive at again for a bit was Overwatch. So I used to love Overwatch. I played a lot of Overwatch.
Okay.
I started playing it again, except they screwed up the servers, and now we connect to servers back in the EU, and the ping's gone just a bit too bad. So I dropped it again. So if they do give us local servers, or at least connect us back to the Middle East servers, I really pick that up again.
Awesome. Yeah, no, Overwatch is cool. I have given it a play. I'm not very good at the 5v5 thing, unless I like playing games like that as long as we're all on the mic together, because if we're not on the mic, it's just and then I lose that kind of interest in it.
It's a very team focused game.
Yeah, I was playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. I want to say last winter, but it's kind of different time because it's summer here. So our winters runs between end of November all the way through, well, I want to say end of October all the way through to end of April, May. And during that whole time we were playing Dead by Daylight, but it was so much fun when you've got a whole bunch of people on the mic and one person like as the killer. I don't know if you guys have played Dead by Daylight. It's really fun.
I've seen it. I haven't really played it, but I've seen it.
Come on, play with me.
So I've played with a few friends as well. So we have like a group of, before we had a group of 5 or 4. So we used to play Overwatch together. We did again, but it's just 3 of us this time. And one of the other games we do play is like Dota, but not necessarily competitively. I think the games requires a lot of effort if you have to play Dota 2 competitively. I don't have the time for that. But I do enjoy playing those social type of games just to play with some friends.
100%. Yeah, that's always the best. That's probably one of the best things about playing games together. Hey, you know, obviously that question's sparked a whole bunch of interest in the chat. We'll come back to your questions on that at the end of this. But this is what we call the L personnel, and that is a staple question around every Let's Talk FGC episode, and that is, what is your favorite movie, series, music, and food at this time in your life? Now, it doesn't have to be all along, but it has to be now. What is your favorite movie, show? What are you listening to, and what's your favorite food at the moment?
Right now, not all time.
It can be all time. It's up to you.
Yeah. Well, all time stuff never ever changes for me. You know, I'm a fan of Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. That won't change.
Yeah.
As the movies. Marvel movies also have a very special place for me.
Okay.
So the entire Marvel universe, leading up to Endgame. Series, Big Bang Theory, never dies, never gets old. I'll rewatch that 10 times if I need to. So
what music?
One of the other series.
Oh, sorry. Stay on the series. Yeah, hit it.
One of the other series that I've been watching quite recently was Deadly Class on Netflix.
Deadly Class.
As well. Yeah, Deadly Class and Umbrella Academy.
Yeah,
so I kind of like those two.
Umbrella Academy is epic. Yeah, I've really enjoyed that as well.
Yeah. So I like those two. I watched them recently, which is why they came out.
A little random quip that people might know, but for people that do know the band, My Chemical Romance. Do you know the band My Chemical Romance?
Yeah.
The lead singer wrote the comic books for Umbrella Academy.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought they were so crazy to think of. Gerard Way wrote Umbrella Academy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's such a weird thing to know. So there's your random fact of the day that you might not know. But yeah. So
it's two completely different skills and talents.
Exactly. I mean, when he actually quit the band, that's what he went to go do, and it's quite cool to see that comic book become so successful. And then you missed the most important, because everyone, you know, this is food. We're talking food here. What's the favorite food?
You asked me earlier about what I take over tacos and sushi. I said sushi because I love sushi. I eat it at least every week.
Oh, really? So you literally hit it on the nail.
Yeah. I eat sushi almost every week now.
Oh, that's awesome.
If not every week without fail.
That's rad. Well, talking about games, because people are asking about this everywhere, I've actually added a little 9.5 of the top 10, you know, the 10 questions now, because I kind of feel like it's actually a good thing to speak about, especially we always speak about fighting games on the show, but we actually don't talk about the other games that we love. Now, I know you spoke about Overwatch, but this question is difficult, but if you can do it as you get it in your head, is the top 5 games in your life that you've played?
Yeah, Overwatch won't make that list. So my top 5 games, probably God of War, the entire series, 1, 2, 3. The original God of War.
That's 3 of your games, man. You gotta choose one of them.
Yeah, if I choose one, it'll be the second one.
Okay.
Then Assassin's Creed 2, specifically.
Okay.
Ezio is just such a fun character.
I think I saw an Ezio in the back of your room there earlier.
Yeah, I do have him there as a figurine. Yeah. Third one, probably The Last of Us. I really liked the first one. I'm currently playing the second one.
Oh, dude, brilliant! Both of them, epic.
Yeah. The Witcher 3 has to go up there, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And the last one, up for debate. I'm not really sure what to put up there as number 5, but the GTA series, I want to say series because I can't choose between one of them.
You have to.
Probably San Andreas. San Andreas is probably like the best one for me.
Cool.
So GTA San Andreas will probably go up there as well.
Nice one. You guys heard it there. Now you know now you guys know what Mark's favorite games are. We're getting right to the end there, guys. So if you guys haven't yet, please add Sheldzable in the chat. I will come to your question shortly. And this is question number 10. And it's basically just to find out what's next for Mark. Mark the Shark. Are you going to continue fighting games? Are you going to branch out? I know you've been doing content creation on your channel, but what's inspiring you now after a year and a bit inside of a pandemic?
It's all about the community. So for me, I'll keep playing MK11 as long as there's a community behind it and around it. I love the game, and that's only because we have a really good community around it. So for me, it's the tournaments that are coming up. Obviously, we know Coliseum's coming up next week. I'm definitely going to be there. The kind of Africa tournaments coming up, I'll definitely be there. But as you mentioned, I have been transitioning into content creation, so I will be pushing out a lot more content, streaming quite soon as well. I've been trying to get into streaming for a while now, but I will be getting there. And then obviously transitioning into Street Fighter. So fighting games will always be my main focus.
Okay.
So I will be playing fighting games mainly, but I do like other types of games. So, you know, if Overwatch 2 comes out eventually, I'll probably pick that up. Awesome.
Guys, go through to your chats there. You guys heard it from Mark. Let's have a look here. I think one of my favorites there, Brian. Okay, so Kater Reborn's first question is, does Mark buy his masala from the plaza?
I cannot deny that, but I don't do any shopping, so I think my mother does, though.
There it is, Kater. There it is. I'm looking for some at Shelds here. Shelds kidding. Shelds. It's Kater again. If I invite Mark for crab curry, would you accept my invitation? Of course I would. Of course we would. I'm in. Can I come? Let's work on through here, guys. Okay, so Bilal asked, what's your favorite non-fighting game? Now, I know we went through a couple 5 there, but if you had to list one, what's your favorite non-fighting game?
The Witcher 3, I think, is probably my top one.
Okay. Mr. Jivs asks, if Mark could be any other sea creature besides a shark, what would he be?
That's a kind of hard question. I don't know, probably a crocodile.
Mark the Croc.
Fancy.
Mark the Croc.
You know why? It's because Morocco has a crocodile skin.
There we go. I'm going to pop that in the chat. Mark the Croc. You guys heard it, chat. Changing his name on Twitter, everything. It's happening. I think I saw... I think I missed something there. I missed a couple, actually. Sheldzable. Mark, what do you think, in your opinion, is Devora's biggest weakness?
1-2 into teleport does not work. I hate that.
There you go, Charlie Wolf. You've heard that Mark the Shark tech right there. Mr. Jivs asked, how old is Mark, and what is the biggest goal for the next 5 years?
That sounds like a question to ask me at work.
Yeah.
I am 29.
Jinx.
Next 5 years. Are you as well?
Yeah.
Nice. Next 5 years, I don't know. I'm probably just going to keep playing games. My girlfriend will say otherwise, but, you know.
There it is, guys. Question to Mark from Andio Tem, Mr. Maker Smile, is what would you change about MK11 given 5 minutes on a dev's computer? That's actually a great question.
Wake up buttons needs to be nerfed. Wake up jump in general. Jumping, anti-airs, all of that. I think we know all of the issues of this game. But 5 minutes, I'll probably just buff Baraka and leave it at that. just straight go for your main. Oh, that's great.
All right, and Christian Clay coming in with the final question, which is, what is the hardest genre of game you've ever played?
Hardest genre. That's a tough one. Probably depends on the style. So RPGs usually are kind of hard depending on the game itself. Some of them just because of the mechanics. So I'd go with that. But Souls-like, definitely the hardest actually.
What, Dark Souls?
So yeah, so they call I think it's the genre is like a Soul-like.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all of those games.
Died twice.
Yeah.
Died
I've played some
1,000
of them
times.
recently.
Yeah, that's 100% not for me, dude. I've given up now. If I need to play a game on easy, I'm not even shy about it. I'll play it on easy, dude.
Yeah, I was at a friend's house this weekend and we played Bloodborne, I think it was. I could not for the life of me get past that first map, the intro.
God damn. Yeah, dude, some people love it, hey. I mean, some people it's just that real, like, I did it. I actually accomplished it, you know. I felt really good after I finished Final Fantasy VII, the remake. I finished it on hard mode. I was like, fuck yeah, I did it. I was like, but man, I've wasted so much hours. I could have been playing something else.
Yeah.
100%. Guys, thanks for your questions so much in chat. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for coming through and asking those. To all 16 of you watching in YouTube, I appreciate you. And all 2 of you on Twitch, I appreciate you guys coming through. We have reached the favorite part for some and the hated part for the guest, which is no one's given me a better name, so it still is the Speedfire Fun Trivia Quiz Round. It's different from last season. We're going to base it on anything and everything. Answers in chat are welcome. Please show us your knowledge. Mark, the rules are you have 5 to 10 seconds to answer the question. Okay? So, no cheating and looking at chat. It's out of 7, meaning that there's bonus points on 2 questions. Okay, so 2 questions out of 2. Scoreboard's been reset, but if you wanted to know, Charlie Wolf won last season with Killjoy in 2nd place. And I'm sure you'd love to see Killjoy or Mr. 5000 in 2nd place again around this time. So this season, AK Slay and Mr. 5000 are tied for 1st place. I think you want to get ahead of them. So are you ready? Let's hit it. So question number 1 is, what 2 oceans that meet but never mix at Cape Point? What are the 2 oceans?
Just something Pacific and Indian.
Correct. Name 4 DLC characters from Mortal Kombat X.
Shema, Tanya, Leatherface. Who else was in MKX? Cyborg.
Yeah, we go. You got it. Well done. This is a good question. Actually, only because I learned the difference between the 2 different words this week. Is what is commonly considered the term for the fear of going outside?
I have no idea what this is.
No?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Skip. The term is agoraphobia. Guys, we've got to get back outside again. This one's a good one. You should get this. In MK11, Baraka's 112 string called Mangled is not plus on block. True or false?
False.
Correct.
Guys don't mash though. It's not plus on block. Guys will mash.
Still mash. Question number 5 is, what is Mortal Kombat X's super move called? It costs 3 bars of super meter as well as both bars of stamina, making it an expensive cost. Yes, it is a cheap cost.
It's an X-ray.
It is indeed. I should have given him a harder one there, hey? Well, luckily only one of them was out of 2 points. So you didn't get a 2 point.
Yeah.
I think you.
Now you know where my name came
Yeah,
from.
you didn't get the 2 points on agoraphobia, which was technically quite difficult. But I think you did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 7. Congratulations! You now hold the title.
Nice. We got 2 titles, huh?
2 titles, exactly that. So we put you in there. Mark the Shark. Fatal blow. It's wrong, Sheldzable scissors. Panda Bear going fatal blow, bruh. It's MKX things. MKX things. Guys, we've reached the end of the episode. We're just short of an hour here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Before you go, please check out my YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I only go live for a Let's Talk FGC, so if you don't want to miss an episode, hit the notification bell and you get a ding. It'll say, hey, come tune in. Not a lot of people don't normally do that, but do it anyways. Guys, I see you in chat. You guys giving all your answers. I'm loving to see that. Thanks for participating in the Speedfire Fun Trivia quiz round. I see Para got agoraphobia right, considering he's a doctor.
I don't want to got all of these, right?
Yeah, 100%. Joe's calling it bullshitophobia and Kada Reborn calling it masalaphobia. Bilal coming in with the extreme text for the Baraka question, which was it's +1. It is +1. Said little Andy found out the other day. And he says, please make it -8. Yeah, we'll see. Guys, that's my plugs. Here's my name. Sheldzable on Twitter. It's Sheldzable on YouTube. Sheldzable on Twitch. It's all the same all round. But more importantly, please, please, please go follow Mark on his Twitter at MarkTheShark92 and his YouTube, Mark. Oh no, disconnected again, right at the end. Let's get him back. Share your video, my man. One last time for the people. You there, Mark?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
Some people are going to say hashtag ESCOM things, but we got you back. It's all good.
It's just internet things.
Yeah, just internet things. We've done pretty good, I'd say. So yeah, that's the plugs, guys. If you have any trivia questions you'd like to feature on the next episode, please feel free to drop me a DM. I'd love to have. And what was my other thing? Oh yes, on the 8th of July we got Blano, the Mr. Brian Look, the African Picasso himself, followed by Ellen Chu, Mrs. Cholwe, Miss Cholwe, sorry, she's married yet. The co-director of Gematrix. So mark those dates for your calendar, and with like every episode of Let's Talk FGC, Mark, please close us out, my man.
Thank you, everyone. It's been great being here, chatting to everybody. As Sheldon mentioned before, if you guys haven't, please leave a like and sub to my YouTube and my Twitter. Leave a follow if you haven't already, just to see what's coming up for me in the future.
Mark, thank you so much. It's been great chatting to you, my man. Take it easy, and I'll see you online for some mashing.
Always. Take it easy, man.
Sweet,
Cheers.
man. Cheers.